The story of Lazarus in Bethany is one of the most profound miracles in the New Testament. Lazarus lived in a nearby town, Bethany, about 2 miles southeast of Jerusalem. Lazarus was the brother of Martha and Mary. Jesus often visited the three brothers and enjoyed the family's hospitality. His sister Maria used to sit at the Guru's feet and listen to him. It was Mary's sister Martha who complained to Jesus that her sister should help in the kitchen. It was this Mary who anointed the Lord and wiped his feet with her hair. Her brother Lazarus was sick. The sisters sent to him, saying, "Lord, the one whom you love is sick." When Jesus heard this, he said, "This sickness does not lead to death. It is for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it." He stayed where he was for 2 more days. Knowing that Jewish culture considered a person dead after 3 days, Jesus took time before going to Bethany. When Jesus came, he knew that Lazarus had been in the tomb for 4 days. Bethany was about 2 hours away from Jerusalem. Many of the Jews had come to comfort Martha and Mary about their brother. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, Martha ran and met him. Mary also sat at home. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." "I know you will." Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise again." Martha said to him, "I know that he will rise in the resurrection on the last day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he die, yet shall he live. Whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?" She said to him, "Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God to come into the world." When Mary came to where Jesus was sitting, she saw him and fell at his feet, saying, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping and the Jews who had come with her weeping, he was deeply troubled. He asked them, "Where was he put?" And they said unto him, "Lord, come and see." Jesus wept. Jesus came to the tomb again sad. It was a cave, and a stone was placed over it. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Martha, the dead man's sister, said to him, "Lord, now there will be a stench. He has been dead 4 days." Jesus said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believed you would see the glory of God?" Said that, they removed the stone. Jesus looked up and said, "Father, I thank you because you have heard me. I knew you were always listening to me, but I have said these things so that the crowd standing around may believe that you have sent me." And when he had said this, he called out with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out. His feet were tied with linen cloth and his face was covered with cloth. And Jesus said unto them, "Untie him, and let him go." Many of the Jews who came to Mary saw what he did and believed in him. The story of Lazarus at Bethany is not just a resurrection story. It was the last significant event of Jesus Christ's 3.5-year ministry. Just as Jesus Christ performed different miracles among different peoples, the release of Lazarus opens the door to many gospel mysteries. Bethanya was a house that Jesus loved very much. Whenever Jesus passed by, he would go there and rest. There we have a spiritual blessing. Jesus is a good God who comes to us again if we open the door of our heart for Jesus, if we accept Jesus. Matthew chapter 8 examines the question of why such a tragedy occurred despite Jesus' sincere love and the home Jesus was visiting. The wind and the sea were raging in the boat that Jesus was on, and Jesus was sleeping, and when the disciples woke Jesus, he got up and rebuked the wind and the sea, and there was a great calm. Whether traveling in a ship with the Lord, whether there is death, sickness or adversity, Jesus will rise up in due time and provide deliverance. Next is that a person dedicated to God can be used in any way by God for the expansion of God's kingdom. Here, Lazarus was not involved in evangelistic activities like the other disciples of Jesus, but through the miracle that happened in the life of Lazarus, many people became believers in Jesus Christ. Next is a warning. Jesus said to Martha, "Martha, you are troubled because of many things. Mary has chosen the good part and no one will take it from her." Even as we leave the world and sin and follow Jesus, we are warned that there is still separation from it. Another reality that Jesus Christ proves through the raising of Lazarus is that Jesus has power over life and death. Finally, Jesus' raising of Lazarus foreshadows his own resurrection. And everyone who believes in Jesus gives hope that there is restoration once. Bethanya is just one of many doors to Jesus Christ. Luke 24:50. Then he took them as far as Bethany and lifted up his hands and blessed them. After blessing them, he left them and ascended into heaven.